That's my bedroom window every day about this time around 6 o'clock. Late evening sun trickling through. It's kind of pretty. GoPro stop recording. I watch a lot of stuff on the internet. I hardly ever watch TV. Well, right now I got a TV, but I don't have no service or anything. I'm thinking about getting me one of them high-powered antennas where I get 3 networks, but I don't know if I'll do that or not. But I watch a lot of stuff. Some of it is, it's not depressing so much as it's just so things that happen to people, some very sad stuff. And I come across this one video about this couple, this man and his wife. She's 31, and when somebody talks about Alzheimer's or dementia, they're thinking that's an old person's disease. Yeah, it is a disease, isn't it? But that's what you usually associate Alzheimer's or dementia with, is older people like my age and stuff. That's one fear I've always had. As long as for years I've worried about it, getting Alzheimer's or dementia, you know, where you lose your memory, you don't know people, your loved ones and stuff, you know. I've always worried about that. But I've been tested a couple of times for that, and they absolutely no way do I have that. But this video I seen the other day, it's this couple, and I don't know how old the husband is, but the wife is 31. Now she's 31 years old, and she started having little problems, you know, forgetting where she parked her car and stuff. And I've done that myself, you know, but just forgetting everyday things. And along about the same day, I think the way this went, that she found out she was pregnant at 31. They were planning on raising a family and all that. And along about the same thing, she was diagnosed with some kind of Alzheimer's. And they're saying now by the time she has the baby, the way it's progressing so fast and everything, that she's not going to even know her baby's name. So this next clip you're going to see is about that. But on a lighter note, right after that clip plays, I've got a couple of stories. They're kind of funny. But anyway, it's just very sad. It's just something I don't know if you need to be aware of it, but it's not just an old person's disease. It can strike anybody. And I'm finding several people that's younger that's getting that. But anyway, I can't say, well, maybe not enjoy the video, but find it interesting to know. And it makes me more thankful that I have my mind, I have my memory, I don't suffer from that. And be thankful that you're the same way. Anyway, there is a story after the video, so I hope you enjoy that part of it. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
This is the season of memories, of the year now passing, of old friends and close family. Rebecca Doog can no longer experience that. At just 31, she's been diagnosed with a rare form of Alzheimer's, a disease that steals memory and life. At the same time, she's discovered she's expecting her first child. But by the time her baby's born, she may not be well enough to remember its name. Laura Sparks now with Rebecca's story.
Rebecca Doog is like any first-time mum.
Oh, look at that. That looks like that's a ribs. You can see the ribs there. Look at that there. It's amazing in the spine. Looks like Predator.
Excited and anxious about the impending birth of her first child.
What's it like for you to see your tummy growing?
Oh, it's crazy. Sorry, I can't believe. I can't remember the question was.
So how do you feel having a round tummy, a little baby growing inside you?
I like it, it's cool.
But the awful horror facing Rebecca is that at some point after the baby is born, she will, through no fault of her own, forget its name.
Look at you there.
No.
Still you.
Still me, in there somewhere.
Cheeky thing.
At 31, she's one of the youngest ever to have a genetic form of Alzheimer's, a disease usually reserved for the elderly. Her husband, Scott, is devastated.
Your world caves in. I mean, this is my young, beautiful, energetic, exuberant, life of the party wife who, you know, is still Rebecca. She's always my wife, but she's, you know, she's not who she was.
Yeah.
And which way are you going? That way?
Going this way.
Yeah, okay, that's the way. Okay, cool.
This way.
Scott sees how the disease ravages her brain on a daily basis. The decline, swift. 2 years ago, she was perfectly normal. Then things started changing.
She'd lose a bag twice a week, she'd lose her keys, forget where she parked the car, general vagueness. Just some tuna.
Eventually, Rebecca was diagnosed with depression, but her condition continued to worsen.
There you go. She's the one who lives with this and struggles with decision and rationale. And I see it in her. She wants to do something or convey something, and it doesn't come out properly, and it frustrates her and she gets angry.
Rebecca, how angry do you get?
It's not so much anger, it's just something that you're thinking over, like, it takes about 5 minutes to do things, and I think, oh, it's just a little like that one thing that just you go, oh, and then if you go back to it, you have to start again. So.
In moments of clarity, the old Rebecca does surface, but then it all closes in again, clouding everything. Finally, 4 months ago, she was diagnosed with genetic Alzheimer's, an unbelievable discovery. At the same time, she realised she was pregnant.
And they're all jumping around going, oh, congratulations, but normally it would be probably one of the you know, best things that had happened to us as a couple, but there's many complications that go with that. Get your bag.
Over there, pop in.
There you go.
Because Rebecca now can't work or be left at home alone, she's had to move 2 hours out of Sydney to stay with her parents.
I then thought, okay, well, we'll get a pension. Let's try and see if we can get a pension. And that's that hit a brick wall because, as I say, it's means tested against my wage, so she was not eligible for anything, which is kind of difficult.
So you've had to legally separate so Rebecca can get the pension?
Yes, that's the situation. We want to be together. We want to be together now, and we want to be together to bring up this child. And I'd shudder to think if Rebecca's parents weren't around. I mean, I would have nowhere to take her. I'd have nowhere to take her. I would have to quit my job, probably go on a carer's pension, and then she would get a pension, but I don't believe that's enough money to really survive. We certainly wouldn't be able to keep our house.
She wants to be with a husband, you know. Sydney's her home. Scott's a husband, and yet they say, we can't help you. There's nothing here for you. Sell your house, separate if you have to get money. There's an O, but there's no A's.
Rebecca's parents, Brian and Cheryl Martin, are doing everything they can for their daughter.
We're just trying to stimulate her brain. We try to help her find the answers, and she just circles them, and we always praise her when she finds one.
Both have changed their work hours to keep around-the-clock vigil.
And we'll have both Rebecca and the baby to look after, but Mum and I will manage. No trouble.
Our motto in this house is one day at a time.
This is where you're moving into, okay?
Their Martin's worst nightmare is that Rebecca will end up in an old age home with dementia. This is Brian's message to Centrelink and the government.
So when you're thinking about your health policies and your care policies, don't think old people. Think about the young people. You know, you imagine Rebecca being in a place with someone who's 75, 80 years old. There's no stimulation for her, and she can still do things. So, you know, think about the young people.
Let's go, baby.
I've had kind of a quiet day today. Hadn't done much. Didn't even go out the front door once. However, I am going out tomorrow. This is Friday. So that means I got my live tomorrow. Oh, I got a couple of stories I'm gonna tell today. There was a river. It was called Trout River, and it was about 20, it could have been 30 blocks from where we lived. Ow! And we was wanting some crab. And the funny thing about it, if I come home with crabs, Mama didn't want them. She won't go fool with them. So if we had crabs, we had to build us a little campfire out kind of in the woods there, and a big old pot, and cook them ourselves and eat them. It always troubled me that we had to throw a live crab into boiling water. I didn't like that. But that's the way you did it. But anyway, me and Eugene Gay, that kid I run away with that time to my girlfriend's house, me and Eugene and Dickie Mark, we sneaked into the kitchen and got some chicken, a chicken leg and a chicken thigh, and we was cutting it into little pieces, and we was tying it to a string. We went out Trout River, we was sitting on, it was like a dock, and went crabbing. You tie that piece of chicken to the string and you drop it down in the water, and the crabs will come start eating on it, and you start pulling it up slowly, and the crabs will come on up with it. They're not hooked on anything, and supposedly you got a net that you net them up with. Well, we didn't have a net, but we had a bucket, and that's how we was catching the crabs. And we had like a bushel basket, and we was putting the crabs inside the bushel basket. And I guess we stayed out there 2 or 3 hours. We was catching crabs. I guess we had, that basket was about half. There was a lot of crabs in there. So it started coming up a storm. It started coming up a storm, and the wind got kicking up and everything, and we figured we better get headed to the house, but we knew we was gonna get wet. But we had our crab. The wind started blowing, we was getting our stuff together. It started blowing the basket. And it was blowing it, it's gonna blow it off of the pier of the dock. And Eugene, he run after that basket, and he just about got it, but as quick as he reached for it, the basket went off the end of the pier and dumped all the crab out in the water. But that ain't all. Eugene was moving so fast, he couldn't stop. And he fell off the end of the pier, but he didn't hit the water, but he caught the top. And he said, baby, that boy, he was hollering, help me, I can't swim, I can't swim. Oh my gosh. And I don't know what we'd have done if we had caught, got hold of him, got him back on the pier. But he got, oh Lord, I wish I could see that boy. He'd be a man today. He'd be about my age. I'd like to ask him what was going through his mind when that basket went, and he went right behind it. Oh my Lord. That was on the Trout River. And the Trout River's like, it's kind of, it empties into the St. Johns, and the St. Johns empties into the Atlantic Ocean, and there's a big old naval base out there and all that stuff. So, and it's kind of a salty water anyway. But Eugene didn't get in the water. Thank goodness. Oh my Lord. You had to be there, folks. I had some times with that boy. His parents didn't like him hanging around with me, especially that time I run away and he run with me. I'm kind of getting excited about I'm gonna start messing with the nursery plants and stuff and everything. It's something I like doing, and it's something that I don't think anybody complained about me doing it. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Few things I need. I'm gonna have to scrounge up the money to get that stuff. Anyhow, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm gonna get out there tomorrow and start working on a little bit of stuff. I'm gonna have to get my grandson to go out there and help me clean that deck up, though. I'm not gonna be able to do it, and I need some trash pulled out of that spot where the sago palm's at. And I'm gonna take a close look at it. There might be a seed pod in that thing. I'm gonna have to take a look and see. And then there's one out back, a huge one. Should be a seed pod in that. You can't take those sago palm seeds straight out of the thing. There's a process you have to go through to get them things to germinate. Ow, pain in my foot. Anyway, that's the plan for tomorrow. Alright, I got one more Dobber story I'm gonna tell you. When this happened, I didn't look at it as karma for somebody that pulled a fast one on me. But karma come around on that thieving old coot. There was a railroad tracks pretty close to, well, it was close to where we come, and it was so close that every time one of them steam engines would come by bellowing out that black smoke and cinders, if Mama had any clothes on the clothesline, she had to run out there and get them, because them cinders and stuff started falling on her clothes. I remember that happening a lot. But and on the other side of the track, there was this pure oil station. He had big tanks out there and all that stuff. And matter of fact, my stepdad's father owned that business. And I don't know if my stepdad ever worked there or not. He was over there a little bit. But anyway, there's a little store there too, you know, and if I had a nickel, I'd go buy me a candy bar. Well, I found a $5 bill laying out there on the railroad track as I was crossing the tracks. Oh boy, I started making a beeline to the store over there. I was gonna get me a Three Musketeer. I was gonna get me a bunch of Three Musketeer. And probably gonna get a Coke too. Well, I got over there and I started getting me stuff, and that guy that worked there, he said, "That's not real." Because I told him I found it, you know, and he said, "That's not real, it's counterfeit." And said he couldn't take that. Oh, I was heartbroken. And of course he thought it was real. I thought it was real, but he was telling me it was counterfeit. But he said, "I'll tell you what, I've always wanted a counterfeit bill like that. I'll give you $1 for that $5 bill." this counterfeit. So I jumped on it, and I spent the whole dollar there on 3 Musketeers, a Clark bar, a Baby Ruth, and I think I got a pack of square nibs, and I got a couple of drinks. And back then, you had to pay deposit. If you go take the drink with you, you had to pay deposit on the bottle. The deposit on the bottle was 2 cents. So I didn't get $5 worth because I sold him the $5 bill because he said it was counterfeit, but he would buy it from me. And so I got home with it, and I was telling Daddy about it, and he got mad because I didn't bring it home. And the dollar, since he thought the $5 bill was counterfeit. Next day, the guy that bought that $5 bill from me come over to the house and told Daddy I sold him a counterfeit bill. Told him he wanted the dollar back. I wanted Daddy to give him $1 because he's going on like I swindled him or something. But it didn't make sense. I mean, he was trying to swindle me. Turns out he got the short end of the stick. His boss, because he tried to buy something with it, and his boss gave him the counterfeit $5 bill back, and because it was counterfeit. Oh my gosh. That man hated me ever since then, but he was the one who got caught in it, if you know. Oh, but I forget his name. Hey, come over and tell Daddy he had to give him $1, and he'd give him back that $5 bill. I don't know what he did with that. He sure got caught in that deal. He sure got caught in that deal. All right. That's my last story for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and found that first part about the lady having Alzheimer's and everything interesting. It was interesting. I always thought it was an old person's disease, but I guess it could strike anybody. More often than not, though, it struck an older person. But anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. I might need to go to bed. See you in the next one.